Previously on Humor Me.
I've brought in a couple of people who have worked with Steve O'Donnell. That's Jim Downey.
Oh my God.
Hi, Burak.
Now I brought one other person who worked on this Late Night with David Letterman show. Can we pan and show him? That's
Hi, Burak.
This is Dave from Indianapolis.
Can you tell the three of us here a little bit about yourself? For example, do you have a family, Burak?
I have a brother and mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Are you currently appearing on Broadway?
Steve O'Donnell, his entire life from childhood, has been tormented for people accusing him of looking like Crackle.
Really?
I think it's yeah.
Oh, I kind of remember
and
that.
Maybe just stay away from the whole. I would even stay away from Kellogg's breakfast
Or
cereals.
rice, any rice product.
I want to hear something about Erdogan.
Go ahead.
Oh, Erdogan. So you
floor
guys
is yours.
want to get me arrested, I guess. Okay. I'll go to
Yes,
jail
that's
for
the
this.
whole purpose of the afternoon. We would like to see you zip-tied and taken away.
You've been playing the long con, I guess, David.
A long time, yeah.
Dave, flash your badge.
Well, this is the long con. Yes, it is exactly. Boy, is it ever.
Dave's entire career has
I
led to
drove
this.
in from Westchester.
Humor me. I need to make some people slap their knee. Humor me. My wit is lacking to the nth degree.
So you guys, besides being brilliant comedy minds, you love dogs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Both
Yep.
of you. You've had Bob the dog going back
Bob
to
the dog, yep.
my dog
I-
Bob.
I
Currently
knew
have
Bob
a
the
pup.
dog. I
Yeah,
knew
that's
Bob
right,
the
yeah.
dog,
I remember one time we brought Bob up to the office,
Sure.
and you said, "This is a really cool old dog."
And I think he appreciated it.
I think he did. He said good things about you, by the way.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Right back at you, Bob.
Thank you.
And Jim, have you ever experienced a lack of confidence from your dog
Absolutely.
when he's among other dogs?
How does that manifest?
He'll crawl under the bench.
And it seems like maybe he's scared, but
I'm
I
not.
think
I'm
we-
not the dog that some of these other dogs.
Oh,
right. I
yeah.
think there's, we take for granted, oh, he's just scared. But no, there's more going on. And you've used this
I
product on your
absolutely
dog.
use it. Yeah.
It's from the people at Manscaping. It's
Oh, yeah.
Petscaping.
Yeah.
It's what I call 21st century grooming.
Mm-hmm.
Shaving equipment and ointments that allow your dog to have confidence. I mean, grooming is all well and good, but being fluffy and having a bandana doesn't necessarily cut it.
Not gonna cut it in
Not in the
2026.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That won't work anymore.
No.
Like Jim
Well,
said, it's not going to cut it at
we
the
had
dog
a,
run.
a French bulldog named Luther with and Luther had like a impressive barrel chest and a
Mhm.
6-pack.
It's buried under
and
tons of fur.
The kit that Robert turned me on to.
Yeah,
from
the
Petscaping.
Petscaping,
was-
the ointments and stuff, and the ointments are
Can
very
I tell you
special.
a story
They
about
don't-
my dog? And it's
Please.
fortuitous that I'm here today because much of this is new to me. My dog, when we picked up my dog, tiny, tinier than I thought he was going to be. And by the way, when he takes a leak, he will squat as opposed to lifting a leg. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Well, that's where you want.
yeah.
That's where Petscaping comes in.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because much like the way we trim the gardening down there,
yeah.
put it gently, to make
the
the
intimate areas
look
right?
bigger and more substantial.
But as a pet owner, am I allowed to go there or not? I don't know.
Well, they're
I
very
think
discreet
you're doing
about.
a disservice to
That's
your
part
dog
of-
if you don't.
They have they actually have additional for people who are squeamish about it. You can attach a pole so that you can hold it from as much as 3 feet away.
Well, you
Wow.
use a good word, squeamish.
But
Yeah.
for your dog's
Okay.
sake, like Jim said, he wants people to see his
I
dog
think
its
food.
best
I think it's
presentation.
natural if you think about
I
it.
mean,
but
you
sure.
remember my beagle Louie, right?
Of course, I remember your
Okay,
Beagle Louie.
He just didn't have the riz that
Yes.
that he needed to attract the female dogs.
Yeah, some
After-
dogs have it naturally.
Right.
This charisma, as
Yeah.
the kids call it, Riz.
And he was this
And other
happy
dogs
little
need help.
puppy. We take him to the dog park, and suddenly he slinks in the corner. A couple of weeks into this,
Yeah.
not only do the female dogs just take notice
Mhm.
and present themselves, But I have seen, and you'll say I'm nuts, but I've seen animals of other species, like the like mourning doves, I guess.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, yes.
That they will sort of
Take
they'll
notice?
see Louis, walk down the street, and you can sort of, it's as if they're saying like, I'm a pigeon,
Right.
he's a dog, I get that.
You're talking
But
about interspecies.
If it
But
could work,
I
I'd be
would
all
over that.
Be
If
all
I
over
could.
that
Interspecies
that
romance.
beagle.
And
Yeah.
Louis, and by the way, Louis knows it too.
Yeah.
He can feel.
Interest- Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
See,
I
and-
think that's true about dogs. They can sense other things that humans just are completely oblivious to.
Right.
Yeah. Which brings me to another point. A lot of times, you'll be in your living room looking through a window, watching your dog mount another dog.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't want other people to see you looking because you're enjoying it too much. Whatever the reason is,
It never bothered me.
never bothered you. Okay.
No.
But you've
I've
seen.
I've had that happen at Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the family.
With the family, they caught you looking at the
well,
dog mounting.
they were
another-
all looking.
Oh, they were. Oh, good. My point is, when you're watching your dog mount another dog, it all happens pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
It
in
can.
terms of what you're talking
it can be
about,
over quick.
empathy.
What do you suppose that means? That it can be over quick?
Well, I mean, I
Is
think
that
what
anatomic? Is it biologic? What is
we're
it?
getting at it. It's partly
Confidence.
it could be a lack of confidence.
I think it's just the dog walks. He does his business. He walks away, and you just assume that it's all natural.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that dogs are empathetic. Obviously, when
yeah.
we're feeling down, my dog will snuggle up to me, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
That's right.
Why are we presuming that they don't have empathy for a female
their own
that they're not
species.
performing properly for?
right.
Am I right?
Mhm.
No, you're right.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Am I
absolutely
right?
And I
Yes.
think
Okay. Because that's why the people at Manscaped have an additional product called K10. And this is a performance
this is
enhancing
great. I
cream.
love a good
performance
marketing.
enhancer for
K10.
K10.
That's great.
K10.
Takes your dog from
Yep,
a K9 to
a
K10.
K10. That's
Yes.
genius, by
Yes.
the way.
Yes, and
Bump it up from a
because-
K9 to a K10.
to a K10, and it enhances your dog's stamina in the proverbial bedroom, let's call it. But in this case, the backyard.
Yeah.
And it's a performance enhancer, and I've seen dogs. My dog lasted a half hour.
Really?
Lasted a half hour after
watched-
using K10.
I watched my Louis, the beagle,
The beagle.
mounting a Pekingese. He looked over, winked at me.
Look at you.
He gave me a little,
Uh-huh. Oh,
yeah. And
See,
no,
that's
just gave me
confidence.
that is confident.
That's confidence.
That's
and
showing off.
Yeah, well, that's the
it's
thing.
a swagger.
it's like certain dogs just have it naturally, and more power
And
to them.
Louis did not.
But some
Louis
dogs
did not.
But he
need a
has it
little
now.
help to get that.
need a little help
They
for
don't
that.
have any game,
No.
Yeah,
natural
right.
game.
He's definitely got game now.
Well, good for
Yeah.
Louis. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
But the case,
Sure.
the problem we're having with our new pup is just random humping.
Random humping.
Random
Well, that's
humping.
good. I mean, no.
Good, really? Well,
Well,
Humping of what?
Well,
Other dogs or?
like my mother-in-law.
Well,
Has he been out
It's a
enough
phase.
with other dogs? Because maybe he's just frustrated.
We have been told that it's asexual humping, which
Asexual
I
humping?
myself am guilty of.
well,
Do you do it as a form of
As high school,
right?
I mean, didn't we all?
But so are you doing? Were you doing it as a form of dominance?
I know
as
you're trying
as
to be
opposed
funny
to
here.
sexual?
No, it had nothing to do with my behavior. It's just something that the pup does now that's annoying. You
Okay.
come to the house,
Okay.
you're going to get humped.
well, I think it's a phase that
I
a lot
think
of,
he's probably releasing a lot of frustration.
But the point is, does Manscaped, the K10, does that help the humping?
It will help the humping in that he will want to go after actual dogs
Mm.
and hump them.
Mm-hmm.
My dog's problem was aggression with, very common with people coming into the house. And ever since he got Manscaped, when he sees the mailman, he doesn't attack him anymore.
That's huge.
No,
by the
all
way.
he does is just like Jim says, he just kind of
you
gives
doing?
him a knowing
Kind
look,
of,
like
kind of in this
my
together.
man.
Whoa,
You know?
that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because you take down one mailman and you are marked.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. He doesn't hurt mailmen anymore. He just
That's
kind of
great.
shares
That's fantastic.
shares the confidence they have.
Yeah.
You know.
That's delightful. What a good story.
Yeah. So listen, if you're interested in this product, you can use the code, which is this is a scam 3796 for a discount.
Great.
This is a scam 3796
Like a public service.
874
Because everybody loves pets.
3774.
God bless you, Robert.
Thank you. That's we'll be right back.
Let me get my ham and get out of here.
Got a thing that needs to be funnier? Tell us about it at speakpipe.com/humorme. Welcome back. It's a few weeks later. Burak successfully sent a letter to Steve O'Donnell, who, by the way, we are here with Jim Downey again, as you can see. And right here in the middle, I want to just clear something up right at the top of this. The obvious elephant in the room, now that Jim brought it up. This is not Crackle from, this is one of the greatest late night comedy writers in history, Steve O'Donnell. This is not Crackle, the mascot from Rice Krispies. Okay, Jim, you'll back me up on this.
100%.
Because Steve's not going to want to advocate for himself.
No.
But you can back me up. He's not Crackle.
I cannot overstate this. He is not Crackle or Snap or Pop.
He probably did. I don't know. I don't want to get presumptuous, but I don't even know if you like Rice Krispies.
Yes, I like them fine. And in my childhood, I resembled Crackle. I won't deny that. But that was long ago.
That was long ago.
A long time ago.
Water under the bridge. Milk under
You would have thought.
Under the
Milk,
Krispies.
yeah, milk.
Milk what?
Under the Krispies.
Milk under the Krispies. Okay.
So,
I went in the 90s and early 2000s. If I had to meet someone who'd never seen me, I would say, I look like Conan if he'd been bombarded with gamma radiation.
that is true.
That is true.
That
and
is
it
true.
Still
but
holds true
Crackle-
today.
The Crackle thing
As
is
Conan has
a
aged.
canard
A canard that Jim
that I
apparently-
resurrected. But
he resurrected.
but not
I guess
in
he was
a-
overly concerned and protective
Well,
of you.
yeah,
He was being protective.
and I probably should have just kept my mouth shut. But
I love the idea of having Steve O'Donnell, one of the greatest late night writers on ever, and spending 20 minutes denying,
disputing
that he resembles Crackle.
Okay.
Okay, so we've resolved that this is Steve O'Donnell. And Steve O'Donnell's here because Burak wrote him a fan letter. Burak's here as well. Dave's not here, by the way, and he's not coming. Any thoughts? Any
It's like the Cheech and Chong classic. Dave's not here.
Dave's not here. You know, sometimes everybody comes back or they're on Zoom, but Dave's not here. Any theories why? Yeah. All I heard from his assistant was he's busy doing anything else.
Well, I'm sure he has a very good reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would be here if you didn't have a Robert.
No, he would. He would.
He would be here if
He would.
I'm sure it's something really urgent.
Really urgent? Like a
Yeah.
crisis?
Yeah.
You promise?
I'm
Like
99.999% certain.
Okay.
I am touched enough that Letterman showed up for the first half.
that's how I felt,
that
to be
seems
honest
tremendous
with you.
because he doesn't do just anything.
No, I was blown away that he showed up at all. And then he spent like 2 hours here and did a commercial about animal manscaping.
That's right, yeah.
So I have no complaints. God bless you, Dave. Steve, you took over Jim's job
Yes,
as head writer.
yes, partly by default because almost the entire writing staff departed for
The new
what
show.
seemed like greener pastures. Andy Breckman went to Saturday Night Live.
Right, the Dick Ebersol era. Yeah.
But Jim and George and Tom Gamble and Max Prost, all.
Why do you think there was such a mass exodus? All because of the new show primarily?
I
just
think
the draw?
that's when it was
because
starting, yeah.
in 1982 or 3, when this happened, anybody watching both Letterman and SNL was, Letterman was, I was obsessed with it.
I have to say, almost immediately after we left, the show became super hot. It was like, yeah, I ran in. I remember.
I see. That's right. You were there when it was really cult.
It
Like-
was like a lady who dressed her parrots in costumes and stuff.
I remember we had some nightclub singer who had what we thought was an astonishing 200 pairs of shoes. And we had them
it was
on
a socialite of some kind.
Yeah, and we had them on a conveyor belt. She
Parade
agreed to bring in all
I remember
200 of
this.
her shoes. And she was a chanteuse, as I remember. It'll come to me, her name.
It
Did she
had a
sing as well?
glamorous ring to it. It was like a Mamie Van Doren kind of sound.
It was Monique Van Voren.
What?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
It's just half
but yeah,
soft,
we
my
did.
brain.
But immediately, but under Steve's leadership, the show became probably because Steve wrote the fucking entire show, which he was close to doing even when the rest of us
I
left.
think it took a little longer than that for the show to catch on. It was 3+ years in when we started finally booking Cher and stuff like that. I remember that was a big deal when she
To
came.
me, it was the biggest thing imaginable. I remember the first year I would videotape every show because I literally thought, what if it gets canceled? I want to have these shows to rewatch.
Well, it actually is true that they were embargoed. NBC, remember, locked them up in New Jersey somewhere, and it was only recently that
Oh, the original. Oh,
yeah, the
because of
originals,
Dave.
yeah, you couldn't have access to
if
them.
it wasn't for Don Giller, the
Oh,
obsessed
the guy.
Don
Yes.
Giller, you
Yes.
should have. Well, I don't know.
Well,
yeah,
this I
Don
don't know.
Giller.
He wouldn't
This
be
is a-
searching for Monique Van Voren. He'd
No, he
have it at
wouldn't.
the tip of his tongue. He'd say, "Show 112."
Right. Don Giller has a website, has a YouTube page that's filled with Letterman
Yes.
clips.
Yes, and
And
I
then-
think he's a consultant on the Letterman YouTube
He
channel.
deserves to be.
kind of honorary
Yeah,
way.
I mean, I haven't cut him a check or anything, but he deserves. I mean, I have a couple times emailed him to go. This is not. I mean, you would. Is there any way you could identify? I think it was 82 or 83, but some specific viewer mail segment, and he will 5 minutes later, I get an email saying "Oh Jesus, yeah, piece of cake."
Right.
Why don't you give me something?
Do you think it took all this time for NBC to cool down and let him, or did they?
There is a little bit of that because
They were pissed off. They didn't want to.
battling over
it's
intellectual
literally
property
30
and-
years later at this point.
Well, I know, but it didn't. Steve, didn't it take until 2021 or
Yes.
something before they released that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
and
before he could- when
so
he
he'd been
needed them for,
trying all those years to get that stuff released. Had he been attempting?
Well, well, certainly the general public wasn't allowed access to it.
Well, I remember this is one of the creepiest moments when we were taking over Conan and we were, I think, at an NBC upfront. The topic of intellectual property came up and an executive said, "We just want to make him sweat."
Yeah, I'm sure that was the attitude. I feel that whenever I walk through the lobby of 30 Rock, they have the big murals on the wall of all the talk show hosts and stuff. No Letterman.
Really?
10 years he
Come
was
on,
on the
guys.
network. There's,
Yeah.
But I think what I noticed they had definitely loosened up is by the time Letterman's CBS show was wrapping up and they were doing a lot of tape packages, it was easier to get them from NBC. But it was also, we discovered they didn't have everything and they didn't have the correct date and show number for a lot
really?
of them. And again, this is where the Don Giller.
The archivist.
It-
Yeah.
when there was the Mark Twain Awards and the Lincoln and the Kennedy Center Awards that Letterman was involved in and they needed clips.
They leaned on Don.
Don, he gets
Wow.
a credit at the end of those shows.
Well,
so it's
he deserves that.
like the Irish monks in medieval times. He saved civilization.
That's right.
Preserved it. Steve, did you ever want to do sketch comedy?
No, it wasn't really my strong. I've written sketches.
Yeah.
Um,
you did a little work for me
The-
on the Dana Carvey.
Oh, yes, that's right. What a wonderful show that was. That should have succeeded.
That was
and
our
Dana
show.
was a delight to work with. He
Oh, Dana was
just
great.
Always such a good. I think you get to know class clowns over the years from different schools and stuff. He's the only sort of person who sort of claims to have been a class clown who actually turned out to be a pretty funny adult.
That's a good point. Yeah, class clowns almost never age well.
But also just
Even in their
kindly
memory.
and generous. And
Oh, yeah. No.
I would say, too, for Letterman, as cranky as he could be about things, when something really went south, he could be sort of blind,
that was-
kind of giddy about it, like, whoop.
We never
On camera and also after the show?
Yes,
we
after
never
the show.
deliberately put him in that situation, but
Uh-huh.
but it was fun when it happened. And it's funny, I remember Steve, I'm sure this was you, did one of my favorite jokes I've ever seen on television, where we did this thing which completely died. Can we talk about this? I mean, it's
Just go ahead.
Burak. Burak's good.
But we'll get Burak in a minute.
So anyway, it was we used to do these desk pieces where we just were doing them out of scraps. Like it was like when you cook a potluck dinner, it's
Yes.
whatever's in the refrigerator. It's
Whatever.
Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be some hamburger meat and celery.
UPI photos
and,
you have.
and,
It's
you
a
know,
volume
some
business, as
cheeses.
Conan
Yeah.
said.
So anyway, this was a thing where we needed a desk piece, and the premise was like, like, you know, your tax money at work. You know, it's like what just this waste. And so we had Dave do the attitude of, and can you believe this? Our government spent, and so anyway, the whole thing as a group just completely ate it so spectacularly
From the outset.
and it's just the audience hated everything about it. But then Andy Brackman and I kept bringing out more, like, and Dave would go, well, I just been given a couple more of these items, and
The audience
I'm assured
would
this
protest.
and then when he said the last thing, and they got a huge ovation from the audience.
Of course.
But Steve had one that so a lot of the jokes I could see why an audience would laugh, but this is one of my favorite things ever, and it was and how about this? You've heard about the new space station, new space station. NASA spent $220 million on a camera that will take pictures from space. And of all the pictures it took, this is the only one that came out. Now you just edit in the picture. But it was a still of Noah Beery Jr. and Ken Curtis from a show,
An
Yes,
NBC,
some NBC show. It was just a publicity
called
shot.
Yellow Rose or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was not only was it these two cowboy actors, but it was clearly a studio portrait for promotion purposes.
Right.
And it was just such a brilliant meta joke. And I go, okay, the assholes audience, the other stuff I could see but this joke is just absolutely fucking genius.
Maybe they don't
so
even.
fuck you for
maybe
not
the show
laughing.
was so obscure that they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Didn't matter.
It shouldn't have
It was just clearly. If
No, I
you see the
understand that.
picture, you know why
I
it's
would have
brilliant.
laughed, I'm sure.
Well,
Anyway, one other thing. Do you
ahead.
remember when the very first time he became like a very popular returning guest? But the very first time when Peter O'Toole did the show, and he was completely shit-faced, and
Drunk.
it comes out and it was like, "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what is your surname?" Do you remember?
I do. Well, also,
Ooh,
like
that was
one thing I
Richard
loved-
Harris, and they were all these actors that would come out and say, "Oh, my drinking days are done," but they then would tell
Clearly.
stories about acting bombed at the Old Vic and stuff that would just
Right.
make everyone in the audience go, "I wish I was an actor and could drink for 48
thing I
hours
loved-
straight."
In terms of him reveling in failure, as it were. So before we did our show with Dave, I watched the first anniversary of Late Night. It was like, it wasn't prime time. It was on at 12:30,
Yeah.
but it was their first anniversary show. And right up at the top of the show was a montage of interviews that went bad. That really, like the British guy who was the son of,
Oh, it was Clement Freud.
yes, Clement Freud.
Yes, he
Yes.
offered to help Dave with the interview. It's one of the
Yes.
few moments when a guest seemed to be teasing Dave in a cruel
Right up
manner.
front. It's like, here's all this stuff that went badly. Here's a montage of it. Because like Frank and I experienced, the Conan show, and there's no way like Frank that Conan interviewing Eartha Kitt would have ever been in a montage on our anniversary show.
Incidentally, that montage of bad interview moments all of them were produced by Morty.
Okay, there you go. Morty slander. Right here on Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends.
But there is a good aspect to that, because I think the show for years, the idea was it wasn't an extravaganza. It wasn't
right.
It wasn't slick. It wasn't up to Carson Burbank quality level. It was a little more putting on a show in the backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, I guess we should bring on Burak. Burak, you're back. How are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm great. How are you guys?
We're great. Steve O'Donnell is here.
Burak, I was so delighted to get your letter.
I'm very excited to see you.
And same here.
Burak, I'd like Steve to read your letter. And then do you have Steve's response?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Here, would you like to read it on?
Sure. Why not?
Big fat paper. It's
I like
easier.
paper more than phones.
Sure.
To the Steve O'Donnell it may concern. It's already clever.
Yeah. Well,
I am a giant fan of your comedy, not physically. In that sense, I am the most ordinary proportions. I am from Istanbul, Turkey. And of all the comedy writers in the world, you are the one with an email address online. Through NYU or something. And yet my motives in writing you are not arbitrary. As a national debate champion in my country, I think I'm a good judge of many things, and one such thing I've deemed sublime is your winning smile. I saw a video of you on a show called Live at 5, and your gleaming teeth and glowing cheekbones lit up the studio and provided welcome relief from the unsettling, imposing colossus that was your interlocutor.
That would be Al Roker, by the way.
I also want you to know how much your work has meant to me. When my great-grand aunt was in hospital with stage 7 lymphoma, it was touch and go for months as she went through punishing treatments. And in those dire moments, the only thing that could make her happy was when I played her the video of the individually wrapped cornflakes. That's hard to believe, but that's touching if it's true. A few years later,
it's absolutely true.
After my stepsister-in-law was the victim of a hit and run by a momentarily derailed funicular, she was hanging by a thread in the hospital. She is only alive today because of Tom Jones singing with Mujibur and Sirajul, which I played for her daily to lift her spirits and take her mind off the funicular, which is still at large. Several years ago, my beloved second mother, once removed, was said to be seen in public railing against the government. President Erdogan was duly notified, and she was invited as a guest of honor to a state dinner. Just as they were about to confer her with the Order of the Republic, they dragged her out of the building, zip-tied her, and she was nowhere to be seen. She tells me only now that what sustained her with an unyielding resolve in the deepest dungeons of that Turkish prison, what even became her mantra, was the expression, husky idlers, from elsewhere. Had she not had that turn of phrase to amuse and inspire her, she would not be alive today. In fact, she is not alive today. I'm sorry about that. But she was alive for several hours more, thanks to your work. Without her mantra, she'd never survive the persecution of those untrusty libelers. Untrusty libelers is as good as husky idlers in my book. Yeah. Needless to say, I am not only grateful for what your words and deeds have done for my family, I feel empowered, secure in the knowledge that in challenging times, I can always call on the top 10 numbers list, Noodles, the wet dog drying off in slow motion, or Dog Jacks. We indeed have Bologna here. Or Bologna. I don't know how they say it in Turkish. To pull myself or a loved one through the worst conditions imaginable. I'd be honored if you would write back. And if it's not too forward, debate me. I'll go anywhere, anytime, any place. You can pick the venue and I'll pick the topic, which is resolved. Steve O'Donnell is the funniest man in America. I'll take the pro side. I'll gladly take the negative. Thank you for considering this. Sending love from Turkey, the country. Sending love from Turkey, the country. I also have a pet turkey, but he hates your work. You don't look like Crackle. Burak Kobas. Thank you.
Wow.
We talked
you
about
go.
the Crackle part, so there's been some background on that.
For anybody who hasn't listened to,
We know they have
who
baloney.
missed the
know
tiny
if they
section about Crackle. So there you go, Burak.
Yeah, it was amazing to hear Yuri that you're not only a great writer, but also a great reader, I think.
Oh, well,
He can read anything.
Great.
I'm
locator.
71, but I read at a 75-year-old level.
Wow.
So Burak, what was your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal was to establish just a correspondence and just say my thanks for the work and maybe hopefully ask a question.
Oh, this is your chance.
I am all ears.
So it's more of a comedy question, and
Yeah.
I have a promising group of writers in front of me, so it should be fitting, I think.
Promising. We've got
so
a future.
I was wondering, I noticed this pattern about my favorite comedians and comedy writers, that they all love to make references to things outside of comedy, to like literature, like philosophy, etc. So I was wondering if you had any external to comedy references, or just things of interest in fields of thought or philosophy, etc.
I think there are comics who do refer to philosophy and classics and stuff. Steve Martin used to do a lot of jokes about philosophy. One of the things I bonded with Letterman on was a love for like middle brow brand names.
Yeah.
The Sears Die Hard battery.
Right.
And you know, some object that is from your grocer's dairy case.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I was just going to say, Burak, that one thing that I'd always observed, there's a couple of things I've observed about interests that are common to comedy writers, or at least not necessarily every comedy writer, but way more prevalent among comedy writers and the general public. One of them is an ability to do little cartoon caricatures. Is about half of all the comedy writers I've known are pretty good at that. I don't happen to be, but the other thing is an interest in serial killers was extremely common, to the point where I've been like involved with writing tables at Saturday Night Live, for example, where when we would take a break from doing rewrites and we would just talk about different serial killers, and people could chat very knowledgeably about the current state of the Zodiac investigation.
Yes.
There were half of the writers at SNL were very up to date on that sort of thing. So, I mean, they're great.
So that's comedy writers and bored housewives share that.
Yes, I would
Obsession.
mention Kevin Curran, who worked at The Simpsons and Letterman.
Yeah.
He actually owned a painting by John Wayne Gacy, the serial killer who would often dress as a clown,
yeah.
named Pogo.
So any of those like any of those books by the different FBI profilers like Robert Ressler or Jack Douglas, I would recommend you picking up one of those books, and you'll instantly have something in common with at least half the comedy writers that I know.
Also, if you want to bond with comedy writers, Jim's saying,
If I may
you've got to
use
get it, be up on your serial
You got to up your
killers.
game when it comes to serial killers. If you actually yourself became a serial killer, wow, you'd be
That's
a
your pitch.
superstar.
That's your movie
Then
right
comedy
there.
writers
Well,
would
like
talk
Rupert
about you
Pupkin,
all the
kind of.
time.
Yeah.
Burak, would you like to read Steve O'Donnell's response to you?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. Hello, Burak. Thank you for your very kind letter. It was quite remarkable. I'm barely aware of any particular fans of mine, foreign or domestic, let alone one from Asia Minor. You certainly are well versed in comedy history, and if I may offer a professional compliment, your note was really, really well written. The stories about your colorful family members were very funny, and if they are based on real-life heartache, more spectacular for that. I'm glad that the internet provides so many podcasts and programs, old and new, for the pleasure of people like you and I. It helps make life bearable. Good luck to you. You seem destined to be a writer. Yes, a wonderful and god-awful life. My best to all your family, even their various predicaments and problems seem hilarious. So I suspect you were putting me on a wee bit. Your fan too, Steve O'Donnell.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I should explain that I wasn't quite aware of the premise of this podcast. I really was
Now that
responding
you know.
to your note.
Yeah.
So the fact that I could praise it's I'm sure it had many inherent intrinsic great qualities, but the fact that you had an all-star team helping you, I noticed it. But I would say that from my perspective, it's like getting Lennon and McCartney to help write a fan letter to Ringo.
Well, we didn't really give Burak much content. It was more like guideposts, I would say. Things.
A lot of
Well,
the
well
content
done.
is in there. Okay. Burak is very funny in his own right and did contribute multiple jokes here. And he also wrote some very funny Weekend Update jokes.
For real.
Yeah.
How great.
That he read to us. And I think it's only right that Burak bombard you with update jokes for days to come.
I would love to hear some.
I don't think he's prepared today. Burak, thank you for coming in. Do you have any other last wishes before Steve changes his email address? I'm kidding.
Just keep it accessible for just a couple of weeks more, and I'll just try to send you some jokes, and then you can just block me for all time.
Steve teaches.
Yes, I think that is partly why you were able to get the email, but that's wonderful. By the way, I used to give my NYU students, when I was trying to give them an assignment that would be provocative, like they would do mountain out of a molehill, but I like doing molehill out of a mountain. And I'd give them the Change Bank commercial,
Oh, yeah.
which is so low key and so reasonable and so calm. And it was just a different way of doing comedy and very, very
So powerful.
Downey-esque.
Burak, what was the first type of comedy that got you inspired?
When I was 12 or 13, like the YouTube algorithm was very different, and it would just randomly recommend me sketches that Monty Python did. And I think that was just a moment that broke my brain, I think.
Yeah. I would say, right?
That
just-
for me was always the Acme. I mean, I'm old enough that I actually knew Beyond the Fringe before Monty Python came
yeah.
along.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, those guys, Beyond the Fringe, in terms of the use of language. Well, you should look up a sketch called The Great Train Robbery by Beyond the Fringe. It's Peter Cook and Alan Bennett. That's just to me, that's the Rosetta Stone of comedy for me.
I don't think I've seen it.
And all the Monty Python stuff is genius.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
that's it. We did it. We did it again. Thank you, Burak.
it was a great letter, Burak.
You dared
Thank you,
to
guys.
try something.
You could say I had a little help, but I'm just delighted that you could just read it.
Yes, I was pleased to get it from all of you, even if it was a sort of sideways slap at me for being obscure.
Hey, he started it.
From the other side of the earth.
I'll just
That's
say
moving.
on the record that sketch comedy writers are the most unsung writers I think there are, because they write for a collective and their material is never identified individual. The only reason I became at all well known was because of my cartoons, because they put my name next to something. And this guy over here, now finally you're getting your due, thanks in part to Paul Thomas Anderson and Tim
How fun
Robinson.
that must be.
You'll see when we go downstairs and he walks into his limo. There's teenage girls just waiting, screaming. Thanks for listening or whatever the hell you did. And see you next time. Humor Me with Robert Smigel and Friends is a production of iHeartMedia and Big Money Players, created by Michelle Sachs Smigel, who executive produces with her loving husband, Robert. Produced by Frank Stinky Smiley. Executive producer for iHeart, Jenna Cagle. Video producer, Daniel Goodman. Edited by Robert Ash. Humor Me theme song composed and sung by Tazon Day. Special thanks to Worldwide Pants and Walter Kim. Don't forget to subscribe and follow to get new episodes of Humor Me each week. And while you're there, rate and review the show. That is, if you liked it. If you didn't, this conversation never happened. And we'll see you next week.